If you need any Xbox or PlayStation codes or anything gaming related, check the referral links down in the description. They'll take you to g2a.com. They already have a discount on most of their goods already, and with the code CHES at checkout, you can get yourself an extra 3% off as well.
Hey guys, how's it going? Ches back again and welcome to episode number 181 of the Career Mode Road to Glory here on FIFA 15. We start with a tricky away game against Sunderland. Sometimes they can be one of the best sides that you can face and you get a massive victory, and other times they can give you a really tough game. They're not having the best of seasons down in 15th right now. They've got Luke de Jong up top though, who is going to be a physical presence and definitely one to keep an eye on defensively, but Lee Catamol is in the midfield, in the kind of central midfield rather than the central defensive midfield, which is strange. I would have personally played Bridcut where Catamol is and Catamol where Bridcut is, but still, Sunderland do tend to play 4-1-4-1 more often than not in career mode this year. It's weird. The CPU kind of just plays the same formations again and again with the same teams, which is a little bit frustrating. Hopefully for FIFA 16 there'll be a little bit more variety in the tactics used by the career mode CPU AI managers, but we'll have to wait and see. We're starting off though with a chance of our own. Yusuf Palzen turns inside really nicely. Good shot though, but it's well saved by Vito Manone, and unfortunately we aren't able to take the lead just yet. We have Sunderland coming forward though with Barr down the right hand side. Lovely little turn to beat the defender. Good through ball to Luke de Jong as well though, although they would have preferred that he was in the box waiting to receive a cross, but he's going to work his way back inside the 18-yard area and is in the end on the end of the little ball inside. Not necessarily playing to his strengths though. He is very good in the air and you would really want to whip a ball into him to try and head in rather than let him shoot on his left foot from the edge of the box like that, as you could tell. Not his strongest suit, as that shot went well high and wide. But we're into the second half and a brilliant save from Marcus Hutchinson to keep Luke de Jong out. We say whip the crosses in to his head. They did so just there, and it was only an extremely good stop by our goalkeeper that stopped them from taking the lead. And Sunderland, like we say, sometimes they give you a really good game, and other times they're a bit of a walkover. So far, they're giving us a really good game. Liam Bridcut getting inside here, and they just had a man over at the back post. I had to draw that extra defender across to attack the man that had the ball, waiting for the shot. But that, of course, left the man free at the back post to head into an empty net. That meant that it was Sunderland 1, Cambridge United 0. Not necessarily going towards our Champions League campaign by losing 1-0 away from home against Sunderland. And Yusuf Palzen definitely didn't want that to happen. Lovely feat from him to dance inside 2 or 3 defenders to end up bringing us back on level terms pretty much immediately after that they'd gone 1-0 up. So really pleased with that. Then the question was, could we kind of build on that momentum, try and get ourselves a second and get a win if possible. Georgiev with a good turn. Obviously he's brilliant on his left foot. Clinical finisher, and that finish comes on the back of really good basic hold-up play, but ordinarily you would expect the striker to hold that up there and then lay it off, but Georgiev just decided not to. Wanted to run around the defenders, give it a good old crack with his left foot. I've got full confidence in Strahil Georgiev's left foot, to be completely honest, same as I have with Yusuf Palzen's right foot. Video with a gorgeous first-time ball through to Adarabioyo though, and we are going to make it 3-1 in the 79th minute, so 3 quick-fire goals almost, or 3 goals in the space of 10 minutes or so in-game, was it? It was 65, 77 and 80, so 3 goals in the space of 15 minutes give us a 3-1 win away from home against Sunderland. Thank you very much. We will definitely take those 3 points to help our top 4 finish campaign, and we jump into the Europa League again in the second game of the episode, and it's the semi-finals for the second season in a row. We have Valencia, and in the other half of the draw it's Porto against Athletic Bilbao. So 4 basically really good sides. Obviously we aren't necessarily the sort of side you would expect to see in this sort of competition in real life, or not even anywhere near being down in League 2, but with the state of our squad right now, being in the semi-finals of European competition, whether it be the Champions League or the Europa League, is definitely where this squad should be. With the amount of talent that we have at our disposal, we should be reaching the semi-finals of any cup competition we're in and pushing for higher league finishes than we have done so far in this season, because obviously we finished 10th, then 5th, then 7th. We really should be pushing for Champions League this year, which is what we have done, and I'm pleased with what we've done so far. But obviously if we can add a Europa League trophy to our cabinet before we move up to the Champions League level of European football, that would be fantastic. It was Liverpool that knocked us out at this level, or at this round last season, which we were very, very disappointed about, but hopefully we can have a decent game against Valencia. But obviously they're one of the sides you would say a Champions League level, and they must have, I would presume, have been in the Champions League group stage and then unfortunately finished third in their group and then been brought into the Europa League at the round of 32 stage. Paco Alcacer though is a very clinical striker ordinarily, but in that particular occasion, not really able to find anywhere near to a shot on target. Julian von Hark, though, is batting the starting lineup. He was involved in this move, actually set up Paulsen for him to score the goal. We said in the last game that we were quite happy and quite comfortable with shooting on Georgiev's left foot, and I mentioned as well, Yusuf Paulsen's right foot, pretty good also. So we're 1-0 up, which is exactly what we want. Trying to avoid any away goals in this one if we possibly can. Here's Georgiev turning inside though, trying to score a goal on his right foot, and that is why I prefer to shoot on his stronger left. It was a really nice turn, just unfortunately not quite got the finishing quality on his right foot as he does with his left. But we're into the second half. We're continuing to push forward and be quite dominant here in this one. On Georgiev's left foot, again, really strong shot on that left-hand side. Good save by Diego Alves though to keep us out. And Valencia were, after a little bit of toing and froing, able to clear their lines. But again, we had them pinned in here, and we were looking for a second goal to really try and kill the game off, because if we can't get a second and we only stay at 1-0, I really don't fancy us going away to the Mestalla with such a slim margin. But the slim margin has been extended by Sadio Mane. I even caught myself out there. I was trying to go for the far bottom corner, and he kind of finessed it along the ground underneath the goalkeeper. I wasn't expecting him to have that sort of finish on it. I was genuinely aiming for the far bottom corner, and it caught Diego Alves out as well, and he wasn't able to get it out. So 2-0 to Cambridge United now at home against Valencia, and that was kind of the story of their attacking in this particular game. Really frustrating for any Valencia away fans that travelled here, because they just weren't very good in front of goal. They didn't play badly as such. They just didn't have that final ball. Timo Werner could have gone down there with the shirt pull, decided to stay on his feet very sportingly. Unfortunately, it cost us the opportunity of a third goal, because Gabbiadini's shot was kind of very tame, to be completely honest. So we stay at 2-0, but Paulsen's got the chance to break through here, slotting it through to Georgia. Georgia's going to try and play the 1-2, looking for Paulsen again. He tries a spectacular. He doesn't get there, but it does drop straight to the feet of Timo Werner. Could have gone down for the penalty, but makes up for not deciding to go down by putting the ball into the back of the net himself anyway. 86 minutes, and that's 3-0, and probably tie over. Although Valencia do have the quality in their squad to get a similar scoreline at the Mestalla in the second leg. So going to have to make sure we keep everybody fresh, if possible, for that second leg. So we're playing a little bit of a rotation side here against Crystal Palace at home. Hopefully going to have a similar result to the one that we had against Sunderland, who were in a similar position in the league to Crystal Palace. A win here would take us above Newcastle into third place in the league. So there was even more on the line for this particular game. You can tell from the starting lineup, it is a rotation 11, wanting to save my best players for the second leg against Valencia in the Europa League, rather understandably at this stage of the season. Obviously, I was hoping that my rotation players could do the business. We do have a couple of former Cambridge United players in Crystal Palace's starting lineup. You'll notice Salah Soliman there, the centre-back, and also Carlos Gruezo as well. We signed him from Stuttgart, and played a bit part role for us. A few good games, but didn't really stand out. And then we moved him on to Crystal Palace to bring in Julian von Hark and Johannes Geis. And obviously, Salah Soliman left us in the championship season, I think, but he did very well for us while he was in our first team. And it's nice to see for his sake that he's actually holding his own in the BPL with Crystal Palace as well. Just hoping that we could spoil both of their days returning to the Abbey Stadium. Obviously, in the starting lineup for us, we have a former Crystal Palace player in the shape of Kwesi Appiah, and his strike partner Callum Wilson was really unlucky not to give us the lead there after 13 minutes. Lovely turn inside, but the finesse shot unfortunately came back off the woodwork. Adarabioyo, though, is so fast and so strong as well. He just powers past the midfielder there. Nothing he could do about it. Drops the ball to not Manolo Gabbiadini, it's Stefano Gabbiadini. Manolo Gabbiadini is the Italian that is playing in Serie A. He's at Napoli in real life, isn't he? I think he moved to Napoli. I might be mistaken, and I'm sure you guys will correct me in the comments, but I think he moved to Napoli. Whether he's still at Napoli in this save 7 seasons in, I'm not entirely too sure. But Jesse Zardes gives Crystal Palace a 1-0 lead here, and I was really disappointed with my goalkeeper there. He didn't look as if he made any attempt to save the ball whatsoever. He just let it go past him. They made an extremely good save against Sunderland to keep us in that game. But he's really cost us here with going 1-0 down against Crystal Palace. They hadn't really threatened too much to that point, but to be fair, neither had I. We looked like we were going to settle at 0-0 to half-time, but actually it's 1-1 half an hour in. Immediately after they went in front, we were able to turn the tide and get ourselves back into the game. Fortunately, in the 40th minute though, we're going to try and make it 2-1 if we possibly can. Adarabioyo down the right hand side again, turns his side, looks for a teammate, and Kwesi looking for a goal against his former club on his left foot. Couldn't find the back of the net. I just wanted him to ping it into that top corner, and he just put too much of a cut across it, and it went wide. So sadly, just before half time, we weren't able to make it 2-1, but we were going to get one more chance as Alvaro Vadillo picks up on the blocked cross, drops to Stefano Gabbiadini again, shot once with his left foot, drew a good save out the goalkeeper, this time on his weaker right foot, not able to do the same. They just brought on Dwight Gale, as you can see, top left for Jassy Zardes, so effectively replacing pace with pace, but it was actually a brilliant dribbling feat from Yannick Bolasie that was our undoing here in the 75th minute, 76th minute. Really, really good. You'll see from the replay, he takes his first touch and then just jinks inside the defender. That is brilliant stuff from Bolasie, and I can't really blame my goalkeeper too much for this one, because obviously, as you can see, there's two defenders in front of him and it could have taken a deflection. So the first goal was definitely Marcus Hutchinson's fault. He should have at least tried to save it rather than just stand there, but the second one was just really, really good footwork from Yannick Bolasie and a good powerful finish, and Dwight Gale should have rounded the game out at 3-1 with a basically open goal to aim at there. All he had to do was side foot it into the bottom corner, and Palace would have got the exact same away result that we got at Sunderland. Unfortunately though, it was still 2-1 to the away side at the Abbey Stadium, so we get a defeat against Palace in the league. We do look like we're going to be favourites so to head through to the Europa League final. Athletic Bilbao versus Porto was 1-0 after the first leg, so no idea which one of those will end up in the final, but hopefully it will be us in the Europa League final as well. We do still have a game in hand on Newcastle above us, but with our defeat and their victory in their round of fixtures for match day 34, they now have a 5-point gap on us, so we can't catch them, but crucially we do have a game in hand on Arsenal below us and can go 3 points clear of them with victory in our game in hand, plus our goal difference is vastly superior with only 5 games to go for us and 4 games to go for them. So long as we can get good points in our game in hand, or at least match Arsenal's results between now and the end of the season, we will get Champions League football for season number 8, which is of course the main aim of this entire season. But if we can go into the Champions League with the Europa League crown in our hands as well, then that would be absolutely fantastic. But that's going to bring today's episode to a close, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Drop the video a like if you enjoyed, of course, and subscribe if you haven't already. Check the channel page for anything you may have missed over the past few days, whether it be this series, the My Player series that went up earlier on this afternoon, or the Barcelona series that went up yesterday. But for now, I'll see you next time.